I'm Brent Nelson, and I too am running for this office. This morning I was teaching at Furman. That's what I do for a living. I teach political science at Furman. I've been there as a professor and as an administrator for 21 years. So I know what it takes, I think, to produce students who are ready for success in the 21st century. I'm also very dedicated to the public schools. My mom was a school teacher. She was a first grade teacher, elementary school teacher for 32 years, so all my life. And my father was a professor of education, so I couldn't get away from it in the family. But what they taught me was how important education was, both to the individual, because it opened your mind, it expanded your opportunities, but also is very important to our society as a whole. Societies with educated people are societies that have lots of opportunities for people, and they're also societies that give back to one another. Societies that see their per capita incomes rise, and that happens with education, they give back. And so our quality of life is really dependent upon the education that we provide for our children. So those two things, the fact that I'm an educator, but also what I study global economics, I study political science, and then also my dedication to the public schools. My kids have gone to the schools after my parents taught me all of those good things. I've tried to carry that on with my own 3 children. I have one left. I have one that went through Furman and one at Rhodes College right now, but I have one still in high school. He likes being the only one in the house. He's at Greenville High. And so as I looked at South Carolina education system, I see that there are 2 things I think I'm frustrated about. One is that we're not producing students for the competitive world that we live in now. We face a competitive global economy, and we're not competing against people from USC, although in some sense you are, but it's the Chinese, and it's the Indians, and it's the Brazilians, and the South Africans that you are really competing against. And we as Americans have got to find our niche, which is using our minds to be creative and innovative and be on the technological cutting edge of this world. And I don't know that we're doing that in South Carolina. Here are some quick statistics for you. We only graduate 61% of our high school students on time. When we look at SAT scores, which is really a measure of whether students are ready for college, we're 48th out of 51 in the country. Or if you just look at states that give their test to 50% of the students, we're 19th out of 22. So we don't look good on any measure. And we've got to do better, or we're going to find ourselves falling further and further behind. So what do we do? And that's really what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody who has the vision, who can move us forward off where we are and where we need to be. And where do we need to be? I think we need to be in a place where more people in the education system and the people who are served by the education system have more choices and are allowed to be more creative. So what does that mean? That means more choices for parents and students as to which school they go to. We can do this in the public school system. We've got charter schools now. We need a whole lot more because they serve particular niches, magnet schools, virtual schools, all the different choices so that we can mix and match for each individual student's passion and each individual student's needs. Second thing we need to do is we need to free our teachers to be creative and innovative again. Let them be the people that they really wanted to be when they started, training for the teaching profession. But they get into the classroom and they feel like they're overburdened. Let's free them. And then when they get to the point where we can evaluate them appropriately, let's pay the best ones more. And the worst ones, let's move them out. I was in a schoolroom in Mullen, South Carolina. There's a teacher there who actually shows that her students actually decline in their test scores. She needs to be moved out, and they can't do it. And the final thing is, we can't wait. We can't wait for the whole world to change and the economy to come back. We've got to get involved now. Communities have to get involved in the schools. We have to make it possible for individuals, students even, retirees, businesses, churches to get involved in our schools. And that's why I've launched an Act Now program. we've got to act now. We can't wait. We've got to do one thing for one child in one school this year and show that our teachers are not forgotten and our students are not forgotten. I could tell you stories, but I won't. What I'll do is ask you, this is not, signing up for Nelson's campaign. This is just put your email address down here to get information, even if you're from out of state. So if you want to do that, I'll pass it around. www.brentnelson.com. Go there. You'll see exciting stuff. Thank you. I think we will find that traditional schools tend to be the most resistant to this kind of change. And that's in some sense okay. My mother would never think about going longer or not, teaching in the summer. She would hate that. But that's why I think it's so important to have these alternative or different kinds of schools, like charter schools, because you can tailor a program for the particular kind of student that you want to attract to that school. There's a new charter school in Greenville called the Lead Academy it's either going to start next year or the year after. And it's for at-risk kids who need more structure, and they'll go to school longer during the day. Now, it won't all be instruction time, but they'll go longer in the day, and they will go on Saturdays. I don't know, it's like every other Saturday. That's not for my kid. That's not for a lot of teachers. But there are teachers who are going to really want to do that, and there are some children that either want to do that or their parents want them to do that. And so I think that option needs to be there. So we need to individualize and customize